Hello and welcome back to Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got Carlos Alcaraz versus Lorenzo Musetti in Rome, the semifinals. These two are going to try to match the level that we saw from Jannik Sinner yesterday and say, you're not the only contender in this tournament, and you're not the only next gen, or what? It's not even next gen at this point, it's this gen, but you're not the only young rising star who can play at that level. And it's going to be interesting to see how Alcaraz Musetti can play. It's a great matchup, always comes with great shot making. Two of the best players on clay. We saw it in Monte Carlo in the final. We're getting in the semis. Let me know your predictions. I'm going with Carlos. I'm going with the favorite here. But if somebody says Lorenzo Musetti wins this, I think that makes a lot of sense. Musetti got the win in Hamburg a couple years ago. Underrated match, I thought. Alcaraz saved a couple match points the second set. Musetti got it done anyway. He was clutch there. And Monte Carlo, he was Musetti. It's part of the game, but he got a little bit injured. So we'll see if he can fight all the way to the end here. And we'll see if he can go even one step further than he did there. How you doing, William? Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe. How you doing, Max? How you doing, Jerome? I didn't see the Musetti-Zverev match, but saw highlights. Wow, did Musetti clutch up or did Zverev choke? Definitely both. I mean, Musetti did awesome to come back. Like, he was fantastic in every point, locked in, impressive, came out with a lot of energy, even when he was, it seemed, down and out. But Zverev choked. Zverev choked, and I mean, he's prone to these moments where he's folding in the biggest points of the match. It just happens in the biggest points, and it's a nerve management issue. It is what it is. It's a nerve management issue. It's Zverev. Yeah, he has issues with nerve management. Musetti though was impressive. So it's certainly both, but I would even say it was more about Zverev because listen, if you're serving at 40 love and you have Zverev serve and you have Zverev's level on clay, like it's always gonna be your fault. Like partially if you lose that set. Let's be real. How you doing, Johnny? Like, am I wrong? It's gonna be partially your fault. I can't imagine not being partially, if not majority. All right, surf here from Musetti at 0-0. Let me know your predictions. I've got Carlos. Yeah, I'm gonna say 3 sets. Carlos in 3 sets. Similar to Monte Carlo, although I don't expect any bagels anywhere. Musetti to serve. Serve to the back end of Carlos. It's going to be just in on the baseline. Low 15. Let's go. We got a good one here. If you're joining into the right tennis match. This is, even if you haven't been that locked into tennis the last few months, like, this is a good one to get back locked in and be watching. No doubt. Serve back into Carlos. Forehand to Musetti. Goes back and slice to Carlos. Long. ALCARAZ in 3 as well. Love it. Good point. Wonders Zverev has a mental coach in his team. Yeah, it's just like he's trying to bring on different coaches and that I thought were going to be able to help him mentally. I mean, namely David Ferrer. I thought would be a good one for him there, but he just hasn't stuck around. None of them have really stuck around very much. Any new coaches, so I don't know. Serve from Musetti. Back end of Carlos. Back end slice Musetti. Goes forehand of Carlos cross court. Forehand of Musetti. It's going to be out. 15-30. I'm excited for this. We could get Sinner versus Alcaraz in their very first Masters final. Let's be real. You expect Sinner to beat Tommy Paul. I like Paul. The way Sinner played the other day, you expect him to win. If he does, Alcaraz needs to get this done, and then we got Sinner Alcaraz first big final. Somehow, the fact that we haven't seen that is insane. Like, why? Like the fact of all that they have defied the odds and only played semifinals is, number one, so annoying, and number two, so unlikely. But anyway, we're finally gonna get it. Yannick Sinner's return to the tour, hopefully for good. And yeah, from now on, maybe it is truly the start of the Sinner Alcaraz era. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm glad that we're starting to see these other names do so well on tour, like Menzik, like Draper, like Musetti, even Runa winning Barcelona and getting to Masters finals again. Like, so it's good to see. But I do think Sinner Alcaraz era is quite likely. But I've been saying though that my prediction for this era is that it's going to be Sinner Alcaraz at the forefront, but I don't think they're going to dominate like the big three, in my opinion. I think it's going to be more of the era of a lot of different guys being contenders. I think that's exciting. I want to see Arthur Fils kind of take that next step too. He kind of did in this tournament too, in a way. I mean, beating Tsitsipas and played some good matches. He just needs to really have that big moment. I mean, Musetti's still looking for his first, I think even Masters final. So he's trying to get that done here. No, not Masters final. He did that in Monte Carlo, but he's trying to get his first Masters title. It's hard to keep up with these young guys and what they need to still yet accomplish, what their next milestones are. They played a great final in Beijing last year. Yep. Yeah, I mean, even if they're more straightforward matches, you're always getting great shot making. Like their match in Miami was so like one-sided, but I still remember it being extremely entertaining. Like extremely entertaining watching it. So I don't think they can play a bad match. Alcaraz is always entertaining, but so is Musetti. Like these guys always bring great stuff out of each other. Going to be out from Musetti on the forehand. Advantage to Carlos. Yeah, I mean, you expect Musetti to be a little bit aggressive in this matchup, no doubt. At the moment, he's overhitting. He's going to keep going for it. It's advantage to Carlos, first break point. It's a serve in the net from Musetti. All right, here's a chance for Carlos early. Backhand slice Musetti. Forehand of Carlos. Inside out. Backhand Musetti. It's out. First game for Carlos. He breaks 1-0. If anybody's counting, that is 7 games straight against Musetti in a row. Although, like I said, Musetti was hampered at the end of that Monte Carlo match. Looking at the Alcaraz Musetti head-to-head, it is 4-1 for Carlos. 5-1 if you include a challenger match that they played in 2020. But at the ATP level, it is 4-1 with 3 out of the 5 matches coming on clay and now 4 out of 6. The ones on hard court were not close at all. Who is you, bro? I'm Anthony Hirsch. Hello. Commentating for Quality Shot Tennis. Who am I? Tennis commentator commentating Alcaraz versus Musetti. Join in if you want. We're going to have a good time. Forehand. Alcaraz goes to the forehand of Musetti. That's going to be out. Team love. Forehand Alcaraz goes to the forehand Musetti. Backhand slice Alcaraz. Forehand Musetti inside out. Now cross court forehand of Alcaraz. Backhand slice Musetti. Forehand of Alcaraz going to be out. I don't think this is going to happen, but could you imagine if Alcaraz wins with a score like 6-0, 6-1? Just Alcaraz and Sinner both dismantling the two of the greatest players on clay of the last couple years. Just completely dismantles both of them. I don't think that's going to happen, to be clear. Musetti has been playing really well all clay season. Becomes the youngest or the first guy born in the century to make the quarters of every single big clay event. Forehand inside out. Back into Musetti is big. That's a passing shot. One-hander whizzes past Carlos. We're at 15-30. His forehand's been overhitting. He's finding ways to do it with the backhand. Yeah, if you give Musetti chances, he has one of the best passing shots on tour. He's got one of the best passes on tour. You don't want to give him chances. I think Carlos knew it too. You gotta give him more to work with if you're gonna come in for an approach. This guy can hit amazingly aggressive shots from defensive positions, which really just surprised you, and the point is over quickly. Forehand of Carlos down the middle. Forehand of Musetti. This forehand of Carlos. That's going to be an unforced error from Carlos. 15-40. What you got from Carlos is definitely more different than what you got with Sinner, and we've been seeing that all tournament. Carlos is much more up and down. His highs though are insane. Like just consistently, Alcaraz's highs are just things we've just haven't really seen before. You could say similar about Sinner too, particularly at the consistency he does it, but Alcaraz a little bit more up and down. That is an unforced error that he would have wanted back in that moment. Could see two breaks here. Backhand down the line from Musetti. He's in control. Misses that one. That's one Musetti will want back. Missed that by about a foot, but that should have been a winner all day. That should have been Musetti's point all day. Now it's 30-40. That's an unfortunate point for Musetti to lose, especially if he doesn't break here, because that's going to be on his mind, I would think, for the next couple games if he doesn't get the break. Serve is just long from Carlos. Italian crowd trying to urge Musetti back in here. I don't think Musetti really needs to absolutely overhit here. He does with that return deuce. I understand why he is. But we've already seen a couple unforced errors from Carlos. I think, just believe in your game. He did well in Monte Carlo. Just kind of got to do the same thing. I mean, he was hitting big, especially in that first set. That was about the best I've seen Musetti play. Oh, backhand slice is nasty from Musetti. That's good. Musetti's quick, man. And the way he works the ball is just fantastic. He got that to go way below the net. That was a tricky volley for Carlos, who's been so good at the net all week. That goes into the net. It's advantage Musetti. Doesn't get a first serve there. Doesn't help Carlos's case here to hold. Forehand Musetti. It's a 2 forehand returns missed on break points on the outside. Alcaraz versus Sinner is the perfect fire and ice metaphor lived out. Reminds me of Scorpion versus Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. Absolutely, Jerome. It's amazing, and they're both just fantastic talents. They both push the best out of each other, and Fire and Ice, I think, is perfect. Everybody knows who's ice and who's fire. Yeah, Alcaraz and Sinner is unreal. So it's good to feel like that about something from the next this like new era of tennis that's started up without the big three, without the players that we're super 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 used to. I mean, we're already pretty much at the point where we're quite used to Alcaraz and Sinner, but it's good to feel like, wow, this rivalry is something special. I've been feeling that way really since US Open 2022, probably even before that. I mean, I actually watched the highlights of their challenger match not long after it happened because I was following the challengers at the time. And then Paris, it was already good, but Umag and Wimbledon, that was when it kind of woke up to me wow, this is Wimbledon, that tiebreaker in the I think third set. The rivalry already proved to be quite something. Alcaraz gets the hold here for 2-0. I like Alcaraz and Musetti. I'm rooting for both. Well, somebody's going to lose, but that's nice. It's nice to see Musetti rising. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Musetti now top 10 in the world. Wonder how the Tommy and Sinner match will go later. Yeah, we're going to be doing that one too. That's going to be Colby's going to be on that one. What are your thoughts on the Coco and Jane match? Coco's the master of getting it done when she's not playing well. That's my thoughts. Coco's the master of the I mean, she can play some hella good tennis, but let's be real. I mean, she can win some ugly matches. But she knows how to win. She's one of the best on tour for winning, and that's an important skill in itself. Forehand drop shot. Carlos misses that one. Level's been a little bit low here so far. They both kind of need to find their stride, Musetti in particular, but Alcaraz will want that drop shot back. It's usually very orchestrates those drop shots perfectly. Not quite there. Serve Musetti. Musetti maybe fighting off some early nerves, trying to make his first final in front of his home crowd. And yeah, I saw people comparing that to the WTA finals match. I thought, I mean, it was night and day. I didn't think it was very similar. The level was much lower, but yeah, once again, just Coco finding a way through, which I think is the most important thing. It's the most important skill to have, um, is winning, finding a way to win. It's a skill in itself, no doubt. Serve from Musetti at 15:30. Serve out wide. Forehand Musetti. Inside in. Forehand squash shot's going to be out. I feel like Musetti's got a chance here because Alcaraz is kind of a little bit wayward on a few shots that he's not usually missing. So Musetti's just got to hold, get his feet on the ground and just feel a little bit more comfortable here. Feels a little bit like he's playing out of his skin. I don't really think he needs to do that. Backhand Musetti down the line is good. Forehand drop shot. Alcaraz runs. Backhand slice. It's a lob. Alcaraz is going to run that down, but it goes long, the lob. So break point for Alcaraz get 2 breaks. To me, this feels a little bit more about Musetti's level than Alcaraz's, to be honest. Alcaraz is playing well. I mean, those are tough forehands to deal with, too. No doubt. Serve, kicked, back in of Carlos, return, misses it long. Deuce. Musetti's got to get the hold here. Has Musetti improved his forehand, or will it still be a weakness on other surfaces? I feel like he's improved it. I feel like today it's been rather weak, but I think he's improved it. I still think that yeah, on grass, but particularly on quick hard courts, he's still gonna struggle. He's still gonna struggle compared to guys like Center and other guys that will be very happy going forehand to forehand with him. That is a terrible overhead from Musetti, way wide. But I don't know. Yeah, I think it's probably I don't know if weakness is the right word, but relative weakness, right? Um, but on clay, he has been absolutely tough to deal with. Yeah, clear, very nervous start for Musetti, no doubt. Alcaraz will take it. Forehand, that's in the ground, deuce, or maybe he won't. Good serve from Musetti, gets him to deuce. Thank you guys for joining in early. So this early stages, I don't feel like we've had any, popcorn rallies or anything that really gets you out of your seat or anything like that. But both guys just kind of, I mean, really, I feel like it's Musetti just finding his way into the match here. I think he's had quite a nervous start here. Just trying to ease the nerves. A hold would help go a long way, right? It would go a long way. Serve goes wide from Musetti. Second serve. Alcaraz has been missing returns on this side. Musetti looking for another missed return. Kick serve back into Carlos. Stays in. Forehand inside in. Forehand squash shot. Alcaraz. Musetti comes in. Back in volley. It's a good shot from Alcaraz, to be fair. It was tougher to deal with than it looked like. But Musetti hits in the net. Musetti would have backed himself to make it, but that was a tough shot. Alcaraz, I mean, both of these guys have two of the best passing shots you'll see. Alcaraz, it is dangerous when you come to net against Alcaraz. I still reckon Alcaraz has the greatest passing shot on tour, period. Alcaraz's passing shot is ridiculous. something that they cook up in Spain. I mean, Alcaraz and Rafa have two of the greatest passing shots. Certainly two of the flashiest passing shots because they can hit that pass from anywhere. Um, that I've seen. Like it is always tough when you come to net against Carlos. He makes life more difficult for you than any other player will. Medvedev in his prime is up there too. Medvedev's passing shot is insane. All right, we've got 6.5 minute game here. Something's got to break. Either Musetti holds or Alcaraz breaks this thing open. Forehand inside in. Musetti finally gets the hold. 2-1. 4. Well, 2-1. Musetti holds. At least gets on the board. That's what you want to see. Hey, how are you doing, Joe Mama? Musetti got a game. I wish this was the final instead. Absolutely. I feel that. But listen, we're gonna get a good final with potentially Sinner versus either Alcaraz or Musetti. Like it's gonna be good. So I'm hoping for that Sinner Alcaraz final. I feel like if we're at Roland Garros, or Wimbledon, and that's when we say like first big final between Sinner and Alcaraz, it could happen, but it would be like I don't know, like that would be such a weird moment. Like I'd rather be like first Grand Slam final between Sinner and Alcaraz. Like that's fine, but the fact that we haven't even seen them play in a final of a big tournament yet, like these are the guys that are going to be spearheading. It seems like this next era of tennis. Like it would be nice to see them play. Especially when the rivalry has been so enticing. Like it's really so exciting. I mean, I know Sinner's been out of the game for 3 months, and people have their opinions about Sinner. Some people can't stand him. Some people don't think he should be allowed to play. Everybody's entitled to their thoughts and opinions, for sure. But but objectively, from a tennis standpoint, their matches have been of the highest level. So the way that they've pushed each other, and even like Sinner now is incredible, but whenever he'd play Alcaraz, he'd raise his level to pretty much the way Sinner looks now. Like Sinner always raises his level against Carlos. That being said, Carlos 3-0 last year. Their rivalry is always, I don't know. It's just there's something about it that they just push each other. Forehand cross court goes to forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand of Musetti. Backhand of Alcaraz. Cross court backhand slice Musetti. Forehand of Carlos. Backhand of Musetti. Down the line. Forehand squash shot. Carlos in the net. Left 15. I think that hold is what Musetti needs to loosen up. Left 15. Let's go. All right, we're getting started up here with a higher level from Musetti. Left 15. Some better forehand hitting there from Musetti as well. Serve just catches the back of the line. Big forehand from Alcaraz saying, listen, you got a big forehand at times. I've got the big forehand always, and I can hit through it just like that. Alcaraz looking for a first title in Rome. He got a first title in Monte Carlo earlier in the year. He beat Musetti on the way, more namely in the final. Musetti's been an absolute major part of this clay season every step of the way. Musetti misses the forehand, 30-15. Yeah, I think like both guys are hesitant to come to net because they both really have such good passes from everywhere. It's a good lob from Musetti. Volley is awkward. Musetti runs. He gets it. I think that was a double bounce. Yeah. Alcaraz knows it too. There's no way. I thought it was a double bounce. Umpire called it good. I usually like this umpire. I forgot his name, but That surely that was a double all day. I mean, I think Musetti could have actually got in there because he's so quick, but maybe he got under it. I need to see it slower replay, but it's close. Good serving from Alcaraz gets the 3-1. Let me know, guys, what you think, though. How many big finals do we see between Sinner and Alcaraz for the rest of the year? How many are we going to get? Whether it's at ATP finals, Masters finals, Grand Slam finals. Let me know. In your opinion, how many are we going to get for the rest of the year? And if you have any thoughts on that, any specific places we might see it. Like, are they going to get to the Wimbledon final, Roland Garros final? They going to get to, just let me know. US Open. I do need their US Open rematch because I really love their match that they played at the US Open. I want them to have a rematch there. Especially Sinner now that he's playing at this level on hard courts. 15 all. But I think the final here, Sinner versus Alcaraz, with the level that Sinner's playing at, I mean, I think that has potential to be one of the best matches in a long time. Musetti with 14 unforced errors, over double what Alcaraz is at 6. I mean, you get that feeling when you're watching this. I mean, it's been unforced error after unforced error. I mean, Musetti hasn't really found steady ground in this match yet. That's a double fault. By the way, Alcaraz, like Musetti only giving chance for Alcaraz to kind of find his best level in the match and play into it a little bit. Like I feel like Alcaraz early stages, I mean, he's usually pretty good, but even if Alcaraz didn't feel particularly good starting off the day, like Musetti's been weaker. I mean, I'm speaking in relative terms, but Musetti's been weaker than Alcaraz, and Alcaraz could only get better and better as this match progresses. Like, this is not a good start for Musetti because this could get away from it. This could get away from him quickly. 15-40, that backhand goes out. 2 break points for the Spaniard with Juan Carlos Ferrero always giving him some coaching advice and also hyping him up from the side. Big crowd out here in Rome, full stadium. And Musetti has not met the moment yet. First serve goes out from Musetti, second serve. Serve goes to the forehand of Carlos, who misses it long. I just want to point out, like, Alcaraz has missed, like, a lot of returns so far, and particularly forehand returns. Like, he's not, I don't think, not to be negative, I don't think he's playing at his highest level so far yet either, but Musetti has kind of come out just hitting a lot of unforced errors. Alcaraz doing just enough in the rallies to kind of get to the point where Musetti's hitting them. That good stage just in from Musetti, backhand, forehand of Carlos. Forehand up high again to the forehand of Carlos. Backhand Carlos cross court. Forehand, Alcaraz in control, squash shot, forehand volley, put away all day. Alcaraz with the hands. Alcaraz 4-1 with a double break. One-sided first set. If you take Alcaraz and Sinner today and yesterday, they are 16-2 in terms of games won and lost against Casper Ruud and Lorenzo Musetti. Alcaraz very good there, staying in control. Hey, how are you doing, Andreas? Hello, Anthony. It's always a pleasure to hear your commentary. I appreciate it. Sinner and Alcaraz are two ugly two-handers. Nothing good to see in tennis. Musetti is a kind of beauty. Nothing can be compared to him. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Since retirement, the only one who has the traditional game. since Fed's retirement, the only one who has the traditional game is Lorenzo. Yeah, I mean, Dominic Thiem last year too. But yeah, Federer. You love it. You love the traditional one hander. It's beautiful. Nobody contests that. Like it is. There's no. There's not a single shot in tennis that's more beautiful than the one handed backhand being struck. There just is not. To the point where it's just objective beauty. It's not even subjective at that point. Like the one hander is incredible to watch. And it comes with its perks as well, compared to a two-hander. So I mean, I understand. I think like Tsitsipas still playing, but he hits just as many shanks as he does decent backhands. You see the golf match? Apparently, it was a big shambles of errors. I watched the highlights. I didn't catch it out while it was on. The highlights made it seem okay, but no, I caught the highlights and then I kind of caught like more extended highlights. Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely an error fest. But I come away impressed with Goff. Like Goff should not have won that match. So it's just her finding, just her will to win is kind of amazing. Time and time again. That goes wide from Alcaraz. Left 15 set is not over yet, but it's getting pretty close. I think they both hit over 70 errors or something. No, I know. Yes. And I think Goff, like together they only hit like 46 winners or something. I mean, if you hit 140 errors, you don't really have that many chances to hit winners. Like, how many points do you play in a match? Like, usually you play like 140 points in a match. Like, you have to win 48 points to win the match, period. So to have 146 unforced errors, I think it was, is unheard of. I love 30 here. Alcaraz with the serve. Gonna be a second serve from Alcaraz here. Musetti with some kind of footing in an Alcaraz service game, looking for one break bat. Forehand, inside in. Forehand of Carlos is a great shot. Cross court. Forehand attacks it. That must have been 100 miles an hour. That was huge. Massive swing from Carlos. Says, I have the big weapon on the court. You don't doubt it. My forehand. Those are two massive forehands. Perfectly placed. Just the way that he gets in position and just plants his feet and just rips it. Just fantastic extension there, too. Just an absolute ripper. It's a beautiful forehand to watch. Alcaraz has a really beautiful game to watch as well, in my opinion. His forehand is one of the most aesthetically pleasing forehands I've seen in a minute. Just about since the days of Federer and Del Potro. That shot from Musetti is called for a double bounce, 40-30 for Alcaraz. Since Fed, yes, yep. Crowd trying to urge Musetti on. But like I was saying, I feel like Alcaraz maybe is starting to find his like highest level yet. Like it's not, you don't really want to start off the match that way, and that's only going to loosen Carlos up, The forehand unforced error from Carlos though, just out. Deuce goes for the big one, doesn't quite get it. Well, if Alcaraz wants to match Sinner yesterday, he's going to have to win 8 straight games. Don't think that will happen, but just putting it out there. Backhand, what a shot from Carlos. Like I said, I think he's finding his best level of the match. Advantage Carlos. That's not good news for Musetti at all. On his side, it's been a slugfest. Alcaraz just slowly I would say, raising his level. Even a break in the last game, I felt like that was his best level yet. And now, I mean, he went down left 30, but since then, kick serve, goes to the back end of Musetti, down the line, forehand of Carlos. Going to be long. Good return for Musetti. That serve can be tough to deal with from Alcaraz, especially on a clay court with the high bounce, obviously. So many things with the clay court play so well into Alcaraz's game. But Alcaraz, I think, can just be fantastic on every surface. Big forehand down the line. Musetti gets it with a lob up high. Smash. That's in the net. Alcaraz misses the overhead. That's a tough one. Yeah, it was a perfect lob, really, because it was right in between an overhead where you'd want to back up and an overhead where you want to take it out of the air, and it just made a really awkward shot for Carlos. I mean, the point would have been over against, let's say, 98 out of the top 100 players with a shot before, in my opinion. But the two that it wouldn't be over against are the two on court right now. Forehand Carlos inside out, back in Musetti down the line is a great shot. Forehand slice Alcaraz goes to the forehand Musetti. Forehand cross court. Rally. Forehand squash shot against Carlos. Musetti comes to net. Backhand passes out. Musetti breaks. Alcaraz got to a game point, but Musetti breaks, and it makes it just one break difference. Even if he doesn't come all the way back in the set, can't overstate how big that is for the rest of the match. Going into the second set, that is majorly needed for Musetti. Got some momentum on his side, some confidence here, finding something here in this one. Better building out of the points from Musetti, and that backhand down the line is a weapon from Lorenzo. He's been improving. He's improved so much, Musetti. It kind of reminds me of Alex de Minaur. You know what I mean? Like Musetti's rise in the rankings. It reminds me of de Minaur because de Minaur, like 2 years before he got into the top 10, it already kind of felt like he had the talent, very clear talent. Everybody knew it to be top 10, but it was kind of amazing. He just never quite found the consistency year round to get there. And then Musetti, same thing. I think they had the same career high ranking, like number 50 in the world. And then a couple years later, Musetti finding his way to the top 10. It kind of reminds me of de Minaur's rise up. I mean, two guys that I think honestly often can struggle against the very, very top of the top, but they kind of are the guys that there's a word for this, but I forget, but they kind of take out everybody else. It's kind of the David Ferrers of the tour, although Ferrer, I think, especially on clay, could beat almost everybody except for, let's say, like the big three in their prime. So Ferrer is underrated. Drop shot. Alcaraz there with the slice. That's a bad shot from Musetti. Just hasn't found it here. 30 all. I mean, that is a pretty, I don't like to use this word for, pro matches. It was a pretty easy shot. Like, he kind of overthinks it there. It's easy with Alcaraz at the net to overthink it because You like even usually like some of the best lobs somebody will hit or some of the best passing shots, like Alcaraz could get there, you know. So it's easy to overthink against Carlos, which is what happened. Forehand, it's gonna be out. Yeah, a lot of unforced errors from Musetti. It's been an unforced error fest, 30-40. Potentially Alcaraz not having to expend as much energy as you would have expected him to so far in the match. Should he make it to the final? Back in return for an Carlos. Goes for the hot shot, doesn't make it. On the run forehands in the net. Top 10 is going to be super young throughout quite soon. It's a good point, Sean. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I think the top 10 could be quite different soon. Like, I don't know exactly who's going to come in, but let's say like Shelton, Musetti misses another forehand. It's been an unforced error fest. Forehands going out all over the place. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think like Feast, Shelton could come in, Draper, Menzik could come in, Fonseca can come in eventually. Um, we'll see who else is coming in, but Sinner, Alcaraz, Musetti, and Runa. Yeah, but that's it's the natural way of things. But it's good to see. I mean, I just think the young players are really fresh and exciting to watch. Like, I think naturally a lot of people are taking it for granted, but I think there's so many entertaining young players right now that are going to make the tour exciting for the next 15 years. I think that's going to be the more consensus opinion soon that we'll hear more of. But it's just the natural way of things. People are not used to these players yet, but I think like Draper, Menzik, even like guys like lower, like Matteo Arnaldi, or like even like a Jerry Shang, or like I think like we have a lot of different styles of play, and we've got a lot of like exciting players. I think Feast is a big one. Feast really gets crowds involved. Um, there's a lot of exciting young players coming up. And I think Menzik he's really somebody to watch, along with Draper, who I think they'll both be. I think they're both big titles contenders now at this point. Obviously, having won Masters, it's a game point here for Musetti. Forehand of Carlos, big. That's a pretty much a saber from Alcaraz. Just goes for broke, hit and rip. Musetti not giving the crowd much at all to cheer about so far. Gotta tell it like it is. Not too much yet. By the way, Alcaraz has made 95% of first serves back in play. Oh, Alcaraz with a hell of a get. That's a lot. That's going to be in. Smash. Alcaraz makes the back end. Oh, Alcaraz wins a miracle point. Musetti misses the volley just. It was close. It looked in when he hit it. I thought it caught some chalk, but Alcaraz with the most ridiculous get. The crowd thought it was over. It should have been. Alcaraz is one of the most insane athletes that we've ever had on this planet. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous, Alcaraz. Musetti should not have missed that volley, though. Break point. Backhand. Forehand now. Alcaraz for a lob. Oh, my God. Oh. That was too close. Would have been a ridiculous shot. Alcaraz finding himself on the defensive position a little bit too early, though. It's kind of what you have to learn as a player who can play absolutely ridiculous defense. Great camera work there, showing the sliding ability of Alcaraz, even though he missed that shot. But it's what you have to learn as defensive players. Like, you don't always have to rely on having to play generally low percentage defensive plays. Like, ideally, that's not something you have to rely on. Hey, how are you doing, Matthew? Just joined. How's the level of the match been? From Musetti, it's been exceptionally poor. I'm just telling it like it is. Musetti's been very poor so far. A lot of unforced errors. Alcaraz could have well been at 5-2 at this point. Musetti just hanging on here. He got a good hole for 4-3. But Musetti, for his standards, has been poor. A lot of unforced errors. It seems like a very nervy start for him. Alcaraz has been strong, and it feels like, to me, it feels like his level has been building a little bit. Like, Alcaraz has been pretty strong, but overall the level has not been like their level. Monte Carlo was like leagues and leagues and leagues above this. Not to be negative about it. Alcaraz is playing well. Musetti found a way to hold here. We're still fairly close. Musetti getting the break back. He played well to get the break back at 4-1. One break back. But yeah, overall, I mean, for their standards, it's been like a 5 out of 10. Like, it's not been very good, but we'll see if it keeps going that way. You're doing Lorenzo, go Carlos. Wonder how Menzik is on grass. Yeah, exactly. But I reckon it could be quite good. I mean, all the young players, they're just not used to the surface yet. We have so little grass for them to practice on. Unless you're like Aussie or English or something, like from Great Britain, it's like where they have a lot of grass courts. You just don't play on them very often. Or we've got 4-3. Serve here from Carlos at 4-3. Got Alcaraz versus Musetti, two of the best shot makers in the game, two of the fastest guys around, and they always bring something fresh and fun to the table, something exciting. Make for a popcorn match. It's a semifinal in Rome. Both guys trying to make their first Rome final of their careers. Actually, I think that's the case for all four players. Pretty sure, right? I mean, it was Medvedev versus Runa in 2023. Last year, I think Sinner and Alcaraz were both out. Paul hasn't made the final. Musetti hasn't made the final. Monte Carlo is his first big final. So yeah, all four semifinalists have not made the final here before. I wonder what the last time that's happened at a Masters tournament, that all four semifinalists had not made the final. It could have actually been no, Indian Wells Alcaraz was in the semis, so I really wonder when that's happened. Back end is not even close from Musetti. 40 love. Musetti is kind of hanging on for dear life a little bit. Like he'll find his way out of a few games, but he's not really been very convincing so far. Five three. Long start to the match, 48 minutes length. Thank you guys for joining in early. Don't forget to subscribe Quality Shot Tennis if you are new to the channel. And don't forget to like the stream. Always helps out. Quality Shot Tennis. And yeah, I mean, hoping that the level picks up just about now from Musetti. Doesn't want to give easy love holds to Carlos. Backhand inside out for it to Musetti. Back into Carlos, cross court, backhand slices, drop shot. Luck from the net court. Drop shot is beautiful. Carlos with the wizard-like hands. Love 15. Wizard-like touch. Great speed to get in position early, and it's just he has the most, like, effortless looking sliding ability on the surface. Great serve from Musetti down the tee, 15 all. Backhand slice from Musetti. Drop shot Alcaraz going to be in the net. 315 for Musetti. Crowd finally hearing them a little bit in my ear. They're cheering. I mean, they've been cheering Musetti all match, but it's been constantly like clapping and then like disappointed sighs. Backhand goes to forehand of Musetti, forehand of Carlos. What a big shot down the line. Forehand Carlos. Great shot inside out. He's 2 points away from the first. First set. The finish line is in sight for Carlos. His forehand is fantastic to watch, Carlos. His footwork is unbelievable. I mean, it's really Federer like footwork. It's remarkable. Last thing Musetti needs right now is a cloud clapping in between his serves. Put off his rhythm. 30 all. Second serve. It's a forehand Musetti. Inside out. It's going to be long. Set point for Alcaraz to take this first set. It's been a little bit of a slugfest. Alcaraz has been good. Musetti's been well, I mean, it's a lot of unforced errors, particularly on that forehand. 30-40. A lot of unforced errors. It's been so many from Musetti. He's played so well this clay court season in this tournament, but this set has just gotten away from him. Serve Musetti, kicked, back in return. Stays in, back in slice Carlos. Cross court, back into Musetti down the line. Forehand to Carlos, forehand to Musetti. Backhand. A good attempt from Carlos down the line. Just misses it in the top of the net. Musetti stays alive in the set so far. The set's still breathing, still going. ATP Tour can be frustrating at times. So hard to find out when the main draws for tournaments, what time will take place. Geneva is today, but no idea what time it's out. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah, when it's not a Masters tournament in particular, like, and when it's not like real close, really bad drop shot from Musetti. Musetti in control there and just gives the point away. Another set point for Musetti. But yeah, that's true. Also, draws need to be streamed live, like, period. Like, it always makes it more fun when you can watch the draw live. Get some excitement going for the matchups in tennis. Backhand the net. Musetti staying alive in this set. But he's staying alive, and then he puts a dagger in his own chest with a really bad drop shot. He's gotta play a bit more solid here. Musetti's played almost double the amount of points that Alcaraz has on serve. He's played 48 points on serve. Forehand and be out. Musetti smashes his racket, gives it a good dent. Yeah, you might as well absolutely annihilate that racket if you're gonna go for it. That's gonna be a call anyway. Yeah, it's a racket abuse call anyway. You might as well absolutely smash it and get some anger out. I hope that he did with that. With that, I mean, it's kind of a It was a smash, but it wasn't, it didn't absolutely decimate it. But hopefully that's what he needs. That's what you hope with that kind of a thing. You're not just doing it for no reason. Get some anger out of your system. Backhand up high, forehand of Musetti, forehand of Alcaraz, a squash shot, stays in, forehand down the line, it's going to be out. Some great play from Alcaraz towards the tail end of that set. It wasn't really always the prettiest set from either player, but Alcaraz played well. He played well. And like I said, great towards the end. Some fantastic guests, as you expect. But Musetti, so many unforced errors. That forehand, I wouldn't be surprised if he had about 20 forehand unforced errors in that set. So that is something that Musetti needs to improve above anything. Yeah, I wasn't far off. 16 forehand unforced errors, 11 backhand unforced errors. He hit one winner on both sides. Alcaraz not that solid either. 9 winners, 17 unforced errors. Scratchy set. Alcaraz 66% first serves in. I mean, they're both doing about the same on serve, except Musetti, he's making most of his first serves in, but when he's playing second serve points, he's at 27%. So that's also quite low. But he's also over overhitting the forehand. I mean, Alcaraz is getting good returns into play deep, and then Musetti just feels like he needs to overhit early. And when you overhit off a shot that's coming at you pretty quickly and pretty deep in the court, it's easy to overhit it and get it hit it long and lose those points on the second serve. But it's crazy. I mean, I don't feel like Alcaraz is playing like that crazy, like aggressively. Like Sinner yesterday, he was so aggressive against Casper. Like almost all of his shots were down the line, and just absolutely like going for it. Like if Casper dropped anything short, it was just over. Sinner would absolutely destroy it. Alcaraz isn't playing that aggressively. Like he's not he hasn't gone into double digits for winners. Just Musetti, a lot of the points are pretty short just because Musetti is hitting a lot of unforced errors. And the last time I was on with you, I said no one outside of Sinner and Alcaraz would win a major this year or next. Do you still disagree? Yes, I do. This year or next, I really don't think so. I think right now is more likely a period of time where I think that could happen eventually. I think right now is not the time for that to happen. That's my feeling. I think I think Draper's going to get chances. I think that a lot of these other young guys can get chances too, particularly next year. This year, I think that's plausible, but I still think that somebody out of the ordinary could win the French. But we'll see. I mean, I think right now, I mean, seeing how Sinner played the match yesterday, I think it's very easy to say Sinner's going to win everything from now on. And he's won 25 consecutive matches. Let's make it clear, although a lot of those were not on clay courts. But listen, I think Sinner's playing scary. He's going to continue to play at a scary level. I don't think every single match is going to look like the one yesterday, but I think he's going to continue to play at a scary level. I don't know necessarily he's definitely going to win Roland Garros. It could definitely happen, but I don't think that it's a sure thing Alcaraz or Sinner win it. I think this year or next, I would say about this could age badly. I'll say about at least three slams go to somebody outside of Sinner or Alcaraz. At least two, but I'll say maybe even three. I do not think that they're going to hoard up all the slams that way for the foreseeable, like this year and next year. I just don't see that happening. Most people would agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen that way. But Sinner is definitely maybe in his prime right now. I mean, he is in his prime right now. Forehand, going to be long. Like, can he get it done at at Roland Garros? He hasn't made the final there. We'll see. $15 all here, starting off the second set. Forehand of Carlos, cross court, forehand squash shot. Forehand of Carlos is in the net, 15-30. It's going to be a forehand shank from Carlos, 15-40. Not quite playing with the same uh, intensity as he was the end of the last set. A little bit late on that forehand. Don't often see that for Carlos, though. 15-40. He's got 2 break points to save here. Still no break yet. Musetti's got to get the job done here. Alcaraz with 2 break points to save. Forehand Musetti, volley Alcaraz, the other way, 30-40. And this is why people talk about momentum. Alcaraz has so much stolen the momentum in this match that it feels quite, and he has such a rhythm that it feels quite likely still that he's going to win this game. If Musetti had more of a momentum, like it would feel different. Forehand, it's a good return from Musetti. Forehand cross court, forehand big Musetti. Oh, he just missed it. That would have been a great shot. That was a great attempt. He's still missing a lot of forehands, but it was a good attempt. He must have just missed that. It was close. I thought he made it. Yeah, just a little bit too heavy-handed, but it was close. That would have been the shot of the match so far. Alcaraz reached for it and whiffed it. That would have been a clean winner. That would have been a clean winner. But still deuce here. Advantage to Carlos, finding his way out of this game. I bet on Sinner to win the Grand Slam this year. He could. Odds of plus 2,000. Now it's plus 1,600. I definitely think he wins 3 majors. I love it. I would love to see it. I've been obsessed with the idea of somebody winning the whole calendar slam growing up. I think this year is quite decent shot to do it. Historically, it's been at times players very early on in their careers when they've won the calendar slam. Whether you're looking at Steffi Graf or all the way back to the 30s, 40s, Don Budge, like historically, people winning the calendar slam, it happens pretty early in their careers. While they're still just running with such like confidence, like there's no real reason right now for Sinner to really feel like he can't win it all. You start to pick up more and more reasons to feel like that as you gain experience. Sinner right now, there's no reason for him to feel like that. And he's on top of the world. He feels like he should be winning everything. Advantage Carlos. Backhand down the line. Forehand of Carlos. Cross court. Awkward shot for Musetti. Backhand. Applied to the forehand of Carlos. Forehand Musetti. Standing on that ad side. We've got forehand rally. Oh, what an angle from Musetti. Cross court. Deuce. He's not giving up on this game. He wants the break to start off the second set. It would be absolutely massive. Let's start off with a lead in the second set. Get something going. Get something flowing. So I think it's possible about Sinner this year. I think you said this year or next year, Sinner or Alcaraz win all 4. Well, first of all, Sinner's already won one this year. I think if that's going to happen, like I could see Sinner and Alcaraz splitting the slams this year. Even before the year started, I had them winning 3 out of 4. It's a bad drop shot from Carlos into the net. It was a good return, kind of chained Alcaraz up there. But I don't think they win the next 7. Like I think that at least 2 out of the next 7 don't go to Sinner and Alcaraz, but we'll see. If Sinner wins the Grand Slam this year, though, that would be a lot of people wouldn't like that. I would find it incredibly exciting. That's something that the big 3 were able to do. Like the one thing, winning the Grand Slam and winning 109 titles. This is the 2 things they just haven't been able to do. Rod Laver won it twice. None of the big 3 have been able to do it once. That's a big break for Lorenzo, the Italian in Italy, with a stronger start to start off the second set. 1-0. Let's see if he can hold on to this. Can the second set be a different story from the first set? I will say the first set was very long. Like, definitely a battle, but I did describe it a little bit more of a slugfest. Like, Musetti do something good, and then he'd do something very disappointing. Like, a lot of, like I said, he hit 16 forehand unforced errors. You don't win a set usually where you hit 16 forehand unforced errors, especially when the set score is 6-3. There are Rod Laver played in versus there are big 3 played has no comparisons. I don't think that's accurate. I think every era has its comparisons. I think the skills that people have for tennis, the greats of the past, if they were able to adjust to the courts and technology and stuff, the same skills apply to today's game as a lot of the same skills to the old game. The very best greats would be able to adapt to any era. It's like saying Djokovic wouldn't be good in the 60s. It's like, I don't think that's accurate. I love 15 for Alcaraz. Everybody can have their opinion. I don't agree with that. And I think Todd Paul wins more than 1 game, but not more than 6. Yeah, I think that's accurate. I agree. I agree with you. I think 6-3, 6-1 or something seems about right. I'll say Paul gets 4 games, maybe 5. I agree with your assessment. I won't be fully shocked if he wins, let's say, like two games. If it's like 6-1, 6-1 or something, I'll say 6-3, 6-1. That's a good opponent to play in the semis. For Sinner too. By the way, he'd feel good coming up against literally anybody right now. After that match against Rude, but it's a good opponent. I know Paul's playing well. He made the semifinal last year too. But yeah, I feel like it's a good opponent. Paul hasn't beaten anybody yet in this tournament that's been remarkably newsworthy. He hasn't beaten any of the absolute, top players on clay to make it to this stage. But he's playing well. I mean, I like Tommy, but I saw somebody said Tommy's going to call in tomorrow and not show up. Sounds about right. Or today, I guess. Backhands in the net from Musetti, 30-40. Alcaraz wants the skate. Not Musetti fight his way back into this one. Very, very sluggish match from Musetti. Not indicative of his clay court season to this point. Backhand cross court. It's the backhand of Musetti, forehand of Alcaraz. A long rally, a big vamos from Carlos gets to 1-1. Yeah, this isn't really the match that I was hoping to see from Musetti's side. One game apiece, and Alcaraz is gonna feel good here. This might be more of like their matches in Miami and Beijing. Like this might be a bit more one-sided. I can imagine this going 6-3, 6-3, or 6-3, 6-2. Right now, I mean, Alcaraz has played at a much higher level than Musetti, and I don't think he's played his best either, but he's played well. Forehand cross court to forehand. Musetti is in the net. 15-love. Yeah, Musetti will wish that he could just pause this match and show up another day because it is not his day. I mean, I don't think the competition was as high. For a good Sneho. People always underrate those players, but to me, it's a. I'm sorry, but to me, it's a. Yeah, just watch those players. Rod Laver was unbelievable. Those guys were good. I mean, they played day in, day out, practice day in, day out. They cared about the sport as much as anybody today. Like the competition was high. It was a different, a style that they played with, different technology, but I think they got to put respect on it. Really, like people just say it like, "Oh, you got to respect it," but it's like to me, I really do. Like those guys were damn good. Um, 15 all. I don't know the story. You got to catch me up, Matthew. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know that story. 15 all, one game apiece. Alcaraz serving, trying to get a hold for being down break early in the set. Backhand up high, forehand Musetti. Forehand of Carlos, cross court. Musetti forehand. It's a bad bounce. The clay taking taking matters into its own hands there. And Alcaraz taking matters into his own hands and trying to fix up the clay in that spot. That was a ridiculous bounce. Alcaraz tried to adjust to it, but it just didn't work out. Bad bounce. Made a very awkward shot. 15-30. Chance here for Musetti to get a break again. Alcaraz misses the first serve. I feel like this is the game. Like this is a very important game. Um, I don't know if Musetti will hold on to this if he breaks. So by the way, it's 15-40 again. But Alcaraz fought his way back from 15-40 in the last game. He just got broken after having a couple game points. So something to remember. Um, but yeah, I still feel like this is an important game. I don't think it's gonna absolutely define what happens for the rest of the match, but I think it's a massive moment here. Definitely a massive moment. Forehand Musetti, cross court, forehand Carlos up high, forehand Musetti. Just catches the line. Bit of luck there for Musetti in the break. Weird bounce off the line, weird bounce on the clay. He's going to take it though. 2-1 for Musetti. Still a better game though, in my opinion, for Musetti. Better returning as well. 2-1. Another break for Musetti. He's up. Paul posts his win versus Subi, said his truck was repossessed for missing payments. His truck is his baby and motivated him to win in Rome to get his truck back. Okay. Yeah. So I don't have any answers to your question, but that's an interesting thing to to say in a post match. All right. Well, so we'll see if he can win and go all the way then. Paul is playing with a different motivation than even Alcaraz is or Sinner. He's got listen. These guys are not playing for these guys are not playing for missing payments and and pay the car payments. So that's a plus for Paul. That's something Sinner doesn't know. That's Paul's secret going into today's match against Sinner. I felt earlier this year, unrelated note, but I felt earlier this year that Tsitsipas was going to be potentially one of the contenders, or maybe not contenders, but one of the players that people should be at least talking about when it comes to Roland Garros. But the way this clay season has played out, I don't know if it's the time for Steph. Like I don't know if there will be a time for Steph. But this year, I have such respect for Steph. I think he can play fantastic tennis. He's still the youngest player ever to have beaten all of the big big four. I mean, he shows such promise at times, but yeah, I don't know. I hope he shows up at Roland Garros, but it just this clay season hasn't been his best. Forehand, drop shot. Carlos Musetti runs back and cross court is very good. Musetti playing better. Musetti's playing better. Hopefully, a couple breaks to loosen Musetti up. I do feel like a big factor was nerves, honestly. Like I could be wrong. I don't know what's been going on. I'm not in Musetti's head, but I wouldn't be surprised if nerves were really a major factor. I don't think necessarily like Musetti showed up on court and just for no reason his racket is just not allowing him to hit anything. Like I think nerves are a big factor. Carlos is also playing well. Dirty Love here, trying to consolidate. Break only matters if you consolidate. Back in Musetti, down the middle, forehand of Carlos. Gonna be long. All right, let's go. We got a match on our hands now. We've got a match on our hands. 40 Love, Musetti. Serve down T is good. Good hold from Musetti. His first hold to Love. He's now won the exact same amount of games as he did in the first set, but he leads 3-1. Backhand down the line. Alcaraz there at the drop shot. Oh, Musetti gets under. Can't quite get there. 15 Love. No, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, he hasn't had a big clay season, but I mean, he played well in Dubai. What was in Monte Carlo? Didn't he have somewhat of a run in Monte Carlo? Lost to Musetti in 3 sets, but I thought he played well. I mean, Musetti was playing amazing in Monte Carlo. I don't know. Took the first set in a breadstick against Musetti. I don't know. I just think Tsitsipas is usually one of the bigger clay contenders. I was hoping that one of the reasons I was hoping Tsitsipas this would be his year is because I feel like I felt like coming into the clay season, it feels like this is going to be a pretty open Roland Garros, or at least it felt like it could have been. Alcaraz wasn't even able to play in Madrid, and then Sinner wasn't on tour. Djokovic it's very uncertain how he's going to do. So that was part of the reasons, like where the tour is at. But yeah, I mean, definitely it's not been his clay season. Don't think Sinner will win the calendar slam because Novak, despite being so good on every service, didn't win it, so I don't see that happening. Okay, it's fair. I mean, Novak was fairly close on 2 occasions, 2023 and 2021. Backhand slice, forehand of Carlos, forehand of Musetti, forehand of Carlos in the net, 40-15. No hold to love for Carlos. Musetti looking much more loose. Points won by 9 shots, or by over 9 shots. 6 for Musetti, 1 for Alcaraz in the set. Forehand goes wide for Musetti. It's another forehand unforced, but this time he's still with the lead at 3-2. All right, good stuff. All right, I'm going to hop off for a second. I'll be right back. I mean, going into the clay season, Snahill, he won last year's Monte Carlo, so that was not that long ago. Forehand lob, Alcaraz runs, backhand lob, Musetti backhand smash. Alcaraz can't get that. Musetti playing better. Look at a guy raising his level. What a rally. What a combination of shots. Musetti said, "You're not getting on the highlight reel. You're not getting on tennis TV, bro." I mean, what a ridiculous shot by Alcaraz, by the way. But Musetti with an even more ridiculous shot. Oh, welcome back, Roger Federer. Showtime. Backhand down the line. Stays in. 30 love. His boss is just done. I'm declaring it officially. LOL. Okay. Done in terms of winning a slam. I mean, he hasn't even started. Jesus. Sinner hasn't even won a clay or grass slam yet. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's have the right to your opinion. Hasn't even made the final actually of Wimbledon or Roland Garros. So you definitely have a lot of reason to believe he will not win the whole calendar slam. Nobody's won the calendar slam on the men's side since Labor in 69. And nobody's done it period on all 3 surfaces. I say all 3 surfaces. I mean, the indoor hard court is a surface, and also back in the day, wood and carpet and whatever else. But on the three surfaces that the slams are played these days, clay, grass, and hard courts, nobody's ever won a good grand slam on all three surfaces on the men's side. And then for the women's, Steffi Graf, the last to do it in '88. And I think the last to do it in doubles or singles, it was Hingis in '98 with all different partners in either women's or mixed doubles. I think it might have been, I think it was women's doubles. I think it was women's doubles. I think she won like 5 slams in a row with different partners. Drop shot. Alcaraz runs. Redrop. That's good. 40-30. Alcaraz climbing his way back. Highest level of the match so far, without a shadow of a doubt. Hey, good morning, Naked Ice. Good to see you. Titsboss's failure. I mean, he's won ATP finals and 3 Masters. I mean, it's not doing that bad. On to two Grand Slam finals. I'm not the biggest Tsitsipas fan around, but I have a lot of respect for his game, to be honest. I think he's good. Forehand goes out. It's changed from Carlos, and the crowd goes crazy. 4-2. Forehand Musetti goes to the back and Carlos. Cross court, back in Musetti. Cross court, back in Carlos. Forehand. Squash on Musetti is a great get. But yeah, it's put away all day. 15 love. Carlos Alcaraz attacking here. And so is Musetti. An aggressive back and forth going on now. It's a battle in Rome for a spot in the final. You would think against Sinner. I'm just telling it like it is. Seems like it will likely be against Sinner. I hope Tommy Paul is watching and proves me wrong. I would love to see it. Tommy Paul, if you're watching, go on, make my day. You got it, man. But it seems likely it could be against Sinner. Sinner is a big favorite in that one. $40 love for Carlos. Big serve down T's and ace. Yeah, I agree. Tsitsipas not consistent. His prime time is not great. He's definitely not consistent. I almost said he could win a Masters 1000 title. That'd be cool. We've had a lot of people winning their first. Draper, Menzik, back to back in the Sunshine Double. A lot of people winning their first, so it's been good to see. And then obviously Casper. It was really, I mean, I guess I haven't thought about it, but 3 out of 4 Masters champs so far this year have been first-time champions. I wonder when's the last time that's happened. 3 out of 4 in a row. I'm going to look that up, actually. It might have been recently. I've just had maybe I just didn't think about it. Forehand. Smash. Musetti put away. 40-30. Both guys fighting their way back from 40 love deficits. Yeah, unlucky net court from Alcaraz. That was going to be a tough forehand to deal with for Musetti, but it was Alcaraz's point. It was Musetti's point. I should say it was definitely not Alcaraz's point. Nowhere near that overhead. So second serve to deal with for Musetti. Backhand. Forehand of Carlos. Forehand of Musetti. Up high. Forehand of Carlos. Cross court. That's in the net. Alcaraz gets the hold for 4-3. 4-3. Steph will soon resign himself to being just a top 15 player. He'll move towards more social media stuff and do a non-tennis podcast with Mendoza. Let me take a guess that you're like either not kidding at all or only half kidding. I think you're being serious, Matthew. Maybe it's quite the prediction. Yeah, I mean, Tsitsipas definitely not finding consistency at the moment. We'll see. I mean, he's so good at the French Open. I feel like you can say what you want about Tsitsipas' consistency. He usually shows up at the French Open. He doesn't like playing Alcaraz there. And be sure about that. He hates playing Alcaraz there, but I feel like at the French, he's almost always just playing very impressive tennis. I would like to see, as a fan of just great tennis players, Tsitsipas do well at the French Open this 1 year because he at times he plays so well there. It's my 2 cents. By the way, if Ruud lost the way he does and says Sinner was just too good, I mean that mentality is the exact reason why he will always be a step away from winning a slam. I thought it was interesting. I couldn't really decide what I thought about that. I always find it interesting diving into players' responses to like press conferences and interviews and where their mindset is at. I thought it was an interesting thing to say. I didn't mind him. I didn't mind him like losing with a smile on his face. I didn't mind him. At some point, people took one quote from the interview and didn't really listen to the rest of what he said. He said something like, honestly, it was fun. And I think most people were like, come on, like that. It's not fun. You can't enjoy losing. And it's true. But like the other thing he said was like, I prepared as well as I could have for the match. I thought I was ready. I'll try to prepare better next time. Or I don't remember what he said, but something along those lines. Like he still was very clearly understanding that he needs to do better, even by what he said. But to a certain point, I mean, maybe it's the healthy thing to just like kind of laugh it off. You're like, I did my best. This guy's playing out of this freaking world. Like to a certain extent, you got to laugh. So I actually didn't mind it too much. I thought it was a very Casper Ruud reaction, though. The volley goes out, 15 all. Hey, how's it going, Sam? Good to see you. How are you? I'm excited for the French Open. Yeah, I'm excited as well. I'm doing good. I was part of a short film yesterday. Had an acting role for a short film. Got to meet some people, made some connections for like film stuff, which is really exciting. And yeah, I've got a lot of cool things on the horizon. So I'm doing good. How are you, man? Yeah, I'm still planning on going to the Challenger event in Little Rock, Arkansas, and hopefully interviewing some players there, which should be exciting as well. So that'll be later this month. Everything goes okay. 30-15 Musetti as Alcaraz hits in the net. He accepted that Sinner's just too good instead of blaming himself that I should have done better. I mean, I think it's valid. I didn't really know what to think. I think to an extent I kind of agree, but I didn't think it was the worst reaction. Musetti showing clear frustration after that miss. 30 all. He knows how important this game is, this moment is. You give Alcaraz an inch, he takes a mile, especially when he's behind in the scoreline like this. In a big match, I feel like Alcaraz is almost sometimes he's more dangerous maybe from behind than ahead. I don't know. He's kind of dangerous all the time. In a big match, Alcaraz generally shows up. Back in cross court, back in Musetti, back in Carlos, cross court, back in slice. Musetti has a great shot. Forehand cross court. Musetti with the lob. That's going to go out. Great play. Musetti had a, I don't think he expected that slice to go in, but it ended up being a beautiful shot. And Alcaraz was able to deal with it very well. His footwork is just breathtaking. Alcaraz's. Best footwork I've seen on tour probably since Federer. Or maybe other than Federer. Like this, however many, like, since I've been watching tennis, his footwork is just unbelievably good. It's what facilitates him to be able to hit such amazing shots. It's a break point for Carlos. Big forehand return. Alcaraz says no. Says hit a bigger serve. I'll still hit the same return, even harder. 4-4. Ooh, ball abuse for Musetti. It's a point penalty. Point penalty for Musetti is crazy. Musetti accepts it without much argument. I don't think I've ever seen Musetti argue with the umpire, period. That is the rule, though. For better or worse, that is the rule. Should that be the rule? That you smash your racket without any potential harm, really, to anybody around you. I mean, just the way Musetti did it. And then you hit a ball super high up, goes into the crowd, you lose the point. I mean, in this specific circumstance, the way that he did both things, where it was very unthreatening, safe to people around him. The crowd is being very loud and constantly interrupting play. Musetti telling the crowd that Musetti why it's 30 love because Musetti got a point penalty. Musetti's not even mad about it, or I mean, he might be mad about it, but he just wants to get on with the play here. Crowd's been constantly, honestly, just like interrupting play. Return into the net, 40 love. It's been a much better set for Musetti, no doubt about it. Second set. So we're still on serve. Alcaraz got the break. You expected for him to give himself chances. The serve on break point was just not good enough, but we're still on serve. Forehand, it's going to be out. Alcaraz one game away from the final, and he's got the momentum back, but we're still on serve. We'll see what happens. I don't think Ruud has belief to beat the big players in slams, and his responses just confirms me that. I think it's valid. Who's your favorite for the French? Anthony, from both the men's and the women's side. My favorites for the French. It's a good question. I mean, Sinner really looked so good yesterday, but Alcaraz won last year. He's about to get to it looks like he has a good chance getting to the final in Rome. He won Monte Carlo. He's been so good on clay. He beat Sinner last year at Roland Garros. Even though I didn't think he was playing his very best in that match, he still found a way through. I'd say Alcaraz is the favorite. Um, on the woman's side, it's hard not to say Swiatek. I mean, she's won the last 3, right? Um, so I think Swiatek is the favorite, but I would say like I would watch out for Mira Andre. I'd watch out for Coco Gauff. I'd watch out for Rita Sabalenka. Sabalenka's never won the French. She hasn't even made the final. But I'd watch out for Sabalenka. Paolini is playing well, and she made the final last year. Um, I don't know. Coco is really up there. I like Coco on clay. But I don't know. I think the favorite is Swiatek, right? She's won the last 3. It's Roland Garros. I think this is her domain. Nobody else has specifically stood up to me as the player that is the favorite enough to overtake Swiatek. But I think that Swiatek is not going to win it. I actually don't know who I think is going to win it. But I would watch out for Mira Andreeva. I think she has a chance, even though it hasn't been her best, it hasn't been her best clay season, but she got to the semis last year after not having that great of a clay season. She lost to Coco in Rome. She lost to Coco in Madrid. She basically just needs to not play Coco. Alcaraz is 3 points away here. But yeah, I'd say Alcaraz and Swiatek are the favorites, but I kind of feel like Swiatek's not going to win it. I think Alcaraz has a decent shot. Like I might choose Alcaraz. I chose Casper Ruud before the year started. Right now, that's like the worst person to pick just because everybody's like, well, he got dismantled by Sinner yesterday. I still don't think it's absolutely impossible, but he does not want to see Sinner though in that tournament because it doesn't seem like that's going to go well. Beforehand, the net from Alcaraz, 315. You think Iga can win this year? She had a very up and down season this year. I think she's the favorite. I don't think she's going to win it though. I almost believe that winning RG for Iga this year is even more important than maybe previous years, just as saving grace for an already disgraceful year. Disgraceful year is pushing it, but I mean, she's ended the year as the best player in the world in 2022, 2023. She was one of the best players in the world last year. I think disgraceful is a bit pushing it, but I think, I mean, everybody has a down period. But yeah, I mean, for her standards, it's certainly not what she wanted. Forehand drop shots in the net, 40-15. I'm just saying, disgraceful year is funny to say. It's like disgracing who? It's like she's disgracing herself. Clay is her favorite surface. Disgracing herself for her regular standards. Clay is her favorite surface. Yeah. I also hope Lil Mira does well too. I just adore her. I really like Mira too, and I love her personality. I think she's great fun to watch, and I've been saying this girl is next up for a while. I watched her play the girls final in Australia. Not live. I wasn't there on the other side of the world, but against Corneva. I thought both girls looked great. And then in Madrid, Mira just something about her, just like the way she goes about the matches, like the passion she plays with, the steady head on her shoulders, the stroke production that just looks so good all across the board. The way she's been improving her serve, it's been looking great. I don't know. I think she's somebody to watch big time. Like I think she could be one of the next greats. I think she will be one of the next greats, actually. And I feel like I was pretty much proven right by that in the 2 Masters she won back to back, especially the players she was beating. That she can play at that level because that level was ridiculous. I love 15, and yeah, clay might well be her best surface. It's up there. I mean, she plays well everywhere. Backhand down the line. Forehand to Musetti, backhand of Alcaraz. Goes to the forehand of Musetti, backhand of Alcaraz, cross court, backhand slice Musetti, forehand of Alcaraz. It's back in Musetti, back in Alcaraz down the line. Forehand Musetti, back in his side, 15 all. I'm gonna say it's 6-3-7-5 Alcaraz. I kind of feel like Alcaraz might finish this in a couple games. It's been a great second set. I feel like Alcaraz is gonna put a bit of a capitalization on the end of this match and really put in an effort here to not make it go to a tiebreaker too. But we'll see. He needs to hold here first. Serve goes to the forehand to Musetti. It's going to be out. 30-15. Mira's personality is amazing on Dasha's Log Sport and entertaining. Yes, Sean, I agree with you. She's very funny. And just the even like, I don't know, everything about her, like referencing LeBron James and that he helped her with something he said, and also like her saying like I thank myself, and like all these like she's a great personality to have on the women's tour, and she's very funny and self-deprecating at times. Yeah, she's great. Forehand big to the forehand of Musetti, forehand cross court. It's in the net. That forehand maybe falling off again. It's been nervy at times from Musetti, and I feel like maybe nerves coming up again. I don't know. But for sure, that forehand is not finding its way over the net. Crowd been fairly silent after these Musetti errors at times. It's been a higher level in the second set. Alcaraz has done what he's needed to do for the most part. No, it's not the level from either guy that we saw Sinner play against Casper yesterday. It's not even in that same universe, but it's been good by Carlos. Don't get me don't get it wrong. It's not like I'm not saying it's not in the same universe as if Alcaraz has played an awful match. Musetti has not played an awful match either. Alcaraz certainly has not. He's played great. He's played good. But yeah, Musetti will have wished he had a stronger start, and he's gonna need to put an exclamation on the end of this set. Try to make this go 3. Push this to a decider as it's a backhand cross court, backhand of Alcaraz. Forehand rally. Forehand to the backhand of Alcaraz. Steps into it, backhand of Musetti. So forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand of Musetti. Alcaraz with a huge shot. That is his best of the match so far. That is a ridiculous angle that Alcaraz found there out of nowhere. 6-5. Considering what standards he guys had for multiple years now. Yeah, I mean, the standard she set, certainly she's not living up to him. But her tournament's Roland Garros. You know, the Roland Garros is gonna. It's kind of like last year, actually. I don't. If my memory serves me right, I don't think she went into Roland Garros with her best season ever. And then at Roland Garros, she still managed to win the title in a very dominant fashion. So we'll see how she shows up there. I mean, I remember she lost to Alexandrova in Miami. I don't really remember. She lost to Dubai to Kalinskaya. Trying to remember what her other results were. But yeah, I agree with you though. That for her standard, she's had a poor season, even very poor season. Yet to make a big final. She's made 4 semifinals of big events, yet to make a final, which really is crazy. Yeah, even last year, I mean, she had more success than I'm remembering. Don't listen to me. I forgot. I didn't remember. Yeah, she had success last year. So correcting myself there. Yeah, she had a lot of success actually to start last year. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I might be thinking of 2023 actually, because that was the year where she lost to Sabalenka in Madrid, and she lost 4th round of Australia, and then she won Roland Garros. So I think I was confusing those two. Yeah, no, my bad. I forgot. That's right. Yeah, Madrid, she won that crazy match. And then Rome, she just usually plays well in Rome, which I think has been the shocking thing. Big forehand hitting from Musetti, doing what he needs to do, making some good serves as well. 30 love. Seems like we're going to get a tiebreaker here from the way this game has started. I said Alcaraz would make a push here. We'll see if he does, but so far it is Musetti, who hits his third forehand winner of the match, which is not a lot. Backhand, deep in the court. Forehand, Alcaraz, a good drop shot there, 15. Alcaraz is 3 points away from the match. Backhand, Musetti goes to the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand Musetti, forehand of Alcaraz. Musetti, I think he gets it. The lob way up high. Musetti way back behind the baseline, ready to retrieve it. Alcaraz puts it away. Alcaraz is 2 points away at 30 all. He is making a push here. But yeah, Musetti a little bit too short with these forehands. It's a liability against the huge forehand that Alcaraz has. It's tough for Musetti to break through, especially when Alcaraz is serving at a pretty good level too. It's like it's a tough matchup for Musetti. It's kind of crazy. Musetti is one thing away from getting a game penalty, and Musetti is like one of the most mild mannered tennis players I've ever seen. Forehand of Alcaraz, he's got a chance here. Backhand, yeah, he gets it. Planted his feet, great shot. Match point for Carlos Alcaraz at 30-40 to get to his very first final in Rome. There's not a whole lot of big events he hasn't made the final yet. There are a few, but anyway, there's going to be one jotted off of that list. Yeah, the crowd constantly kind of interrupting Musetti's service motion. It's been quite frustrating. Alcaraz showing that frustration too. It's a match point. It's going to be a second serve to deal with. Musetti unable to really find the level he found against Carlos in Monte Carlo. Carlos with a big forehand return. Forehand of Alcaraz goes to the forehand. Musetti, forehand of Alcaraz defending. That's going to be long. But it's been a stronger second set. He's at deuce. He's still trying to make it to a tiebreaker. I want to see second set as a tiebreaker. Yeah, we want to see more tennis all day, right? Second serve points. Musetti is 6 for 24. Jesus. That was a 6th second serve point one. That's actually crazy. That's daunting. If you've won only 5 second serve points and you're hitting a second serve down match point, but you found a way to get to game point. 1 point away from a tiebreaker. I mean, relatively long match for the couple sets, hour and 53. We're going to be over 2 hours if we make it to a tiebreaker, at least. Forehand Musetti. Backhand Alcaraz. Backhand slice Musetti. Forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand Musetti goes for a big one down the line, but that forehand just hasn't been working enough for him to be making those shots. Deuce. Alcaraz 2 points away. Alcaraz doing what he needs to do for a first Alcaraz Center big final. I think we're going to get it. Second serve, Musetti. Forehand, Musetti. It stays in. So it is that. Big forehand from Carlos. Hits it out. Game point. Thank you guys for joining into the match and the stream. And it seems like we're going to get a tiebreaker here. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. We've got more streams coming up as well. Hopefully covering the final two. If it's Sinner ALCARAZ, you know we got it. Backhand slice. Forehand of Carlos. That's a big hold for Lorenzo Musetti. Six games apiece here. Tiebreaker. All right, let me know who's winning this tiebreaker. What's going to be the score? Let me know in the chat. Type it out in the chat. I'm going with ALCARAZ. I'm going to go with ALCARAZ 7-4. Let me know what you guys think. Forehand Musetti up high. Forehand of ALCARAZ. Big down the line. 1-0 ALCARAZ. Let me know what you guys think. Whoever gets the closest, I will shout out your username in the chat. Or I'll just shout you out. I always say that. I'll shout you out. 1-0 ALCARAZ. 6 points away from the win here. Got one tiebreaker to decide the result here. Musetti's already saved a match point. Forehand cross court. Forehand Musetti in the net. 2-0 ALCARAZ. He's returned well in this match. 8-6 Musetti. All right, let me know. It's interesting. Got different predictions. How's it going, Lexi? Good to see you. Showed up at the right time. Got a tiebreaker to play. Drop shot. ALCARAZ runs. Musetti behind ALCARAZ. ALCARAZ there with the volley. Oh, what a rally. ALCARAZ is there. Oh, he missed it. What a get from Musetti. A flick cross court. Slice. If Musetti didn't make that, he was playing on survival instinct. Musetti misses that. It's 3-0 double mini break. There you go. What a reach by ALCARAZ. Musetti. What a rally. Yeah, what a shot. I mean, ALCARAZ missed that. Musetti got to the last one too. Even though it was out. What a get. Yeah, that's pretty. That's nice. Backhand goes long. ALCARAZ is served just in. Musetti didn't look sure about it. I think it caught the line. 3-1. Bit awkward when it kind of catches the chalk and kind of creates a weird bounce. Especially because you're kind of not sure if the serve is going to go in at all. So it just creates a tough situation as a returner. Forehand goes out from Musetti, 4-1. We're doing Lexi. Anthony will sponsor a trip to the French Open to the winner. That's the least. Man, surely. Didn't know you guys were streaming. Yeah, absolutely. 10-8 ALCARAZ, all right. Now 4-1. ALCARAZ 3 points away. 4-2. They change ends. Just one mini break. Just one mini break. But also, I will say there's a big difference between 5-2 and 4-3. 5-2 serving and 4-3 serving are just miles different. backhand Carlos, backhand Musetti, backhand slice of Alcaraz, forehand Musetti, backhand of Alcaraz. Yeah, just not a bad shot from Musetti. There's a lot of wind in Rome today, I've noticed, particularly in that rally. A big gust of wind came through and some clay popped up. That's a big gust of wind there as Musetti went to hit that shot. 5-2 for Alcaraz. I think Alcaraz got something in his eye. All right, 5-2. Matches on Alcaraz's racket to make a first Rome final. I'm trying to think, what other big tournaments has Alcaraz not made the final yet? Australian Open. It's the big one, right? He's made the final of the Olympics. Australian Open, Indian Wells. Well, I'm trying to think which ones he has made the final. I think Canada he hasn't made the final, right? Maybe like Canada, Shanghai, ATP Finals, Australian Open. Oh, big backhand pass from Musetti. Got one of the best passing shots on tour, Musetti. He's got it nailed down. That was a great backhand down the line. 5-3. Still alive. He loses this point, though. If he doesn't get both back, it's looking much more dire. Tiebreakers are scary, man. I mean, suddenly you're down 5-2. 2 mini breaks, and it's almost just about over in a 7-pointer. The crowd is just so like loud and when they don't need to be. Interrupting the servers. Big return. That's a backhand the net. Surprise, surprise. Lorenzo Musetti with 2 mini breaks back. 5-4. Surprise, surprise. That was a great return. Best return of serve of the match so far for Musetti. We had a look and he went for it. Fortune favors the bold. It's a good return there. Serve goes to the back of Alcaraz. A drop shot. It's so dangerous drop shotting Alcaraz, especially when you're hitting shots like that. It's just not good play from Musetti. I don't know why he goes for the drop shot there. Alcaraz gets the 6-4. Don't see the reason for Musetti to go for the drop shot. And that was not even a drop shot. That was just like it was like a here, you can have the point. It was like such a layup for Alcaraz to hit a winner. It was like I'm sure it's not what he meant to do, but it turned out to be pretty much a nothing shot. Got to back your game. Only really go for the drop shot against Carlos when you know you can plant your feet and really are set and in position. And Alcaraz is out of position. Like there, I just don't know why to go for it. 2 match points. Backhand. So forehand of Alcaraz. Looking for his first Rome final. Forehand down the line. Backhand slice. Musetti, big forehand inside out. Carlos Alcaraz gets it done in Rome. He's in his first final in Italy. First big final in Italy. Actually, period. He hasn't made it in Turin. And this is his first one in Rome. Musetti, better play in the second set than the first. I don't think he ever played his absolute A++ game. Alcaraz played great. Did what he needed to do to get through. He gets it done in 2. Gets it done in 2 sets over Musetti. And he'll be waiting the winner of Sinner and Paul in the final. He's done what he needs to do to create the first Sinner Alcaraz big final. We got ALCARAZ on the cards. You better believe it. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining in. Appreciate you guys. Lexi, Max, you're here like whole stream. Sean, Joe, Mama, Joe 512, Sam, Naked Eyes. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, ALCARAZ. We're ready for it. I know I'm ready for it. Yeah, so many forehand unforced errors from Musetti. Also, he was up a break in the second set. Break point. He hits very attackable serve. Second serve, it was very attackable for Carlos all day. And his forehand constantly falling short or hitting errors when he was going bigger. So just some things to work on for Musetti. Maybe just wasn't really his day, but yeah, Alcaraz writes on the screen. Final. There you go. Final against Sinner would be great. Alcaraz versus Paul Incoming. Let's go. The greatest rivalry on tour. It actually is a good rivalry, but how's it going, Tess? You showed up late, but join in for the final. Hopefully I'll be streaming. Especially if it's the great rivalry of the next era, Alcaraz versus Paul. No, I'm joking. But potentially we get Alcaraz versus Sinner. All right, thanks guys for joining in. I'll see you guys for the next one. Alcaraz is into this first final in Rome. Yeah.